through and it would come all, you could maybe you could take it off, like lift off watercolor off with water. Yeah? It doesn't wrinkle up the paper as much. That is the #1 overwhelming reason we pick this paper, because usually when you put water on a regular piece of paper, it like starts to decay, right? It just smooshes into a mess. This will hold itself better. So I recommend, as we use this, I always leave the first page of mine blank so that if I want to like make a title page or something in front, I can.
Yeah.
So I skipped the first page, but I would start on the first spread and I would use one side for, personally, you don't have to do it this way. I would use one side more for notes and like sketches, and then I would use one side for my more permanent drawings. Some people, or like my drawings, my this is what I really want it to look like. Some people will do it, spread it all across the page, and they'll have like notes and sketches all around and like big, and like the good pictures, right? All around. And any of it is fine. There is no wrong way. Oh, the other thing I forgot. Anybody know what we're calling these this year?
No.
Exploration journals. Why would we call it an exploration journal?
For exploration.
What?
For exploration.
For exploration. Because what we're going to do this year is we're going to
Explore.
explore. Thank you, Matthew. I love having you get back.
I've gone exploring so many times.
You have gone exploring so many times. So the goal with both nature study and art is not to know everything. Is it to be perfect?
Yes.
No.
No. No, the perfect is the enemy of getting better. We are not going to try to be perfect because it's not going to happen. Leave that for God. We are going to get better, and we're going to get better by observing and by being curious, by asking questions, by looking for things that we do not know or places where we are imperfect. And then,
Make them perfect.
no.
No.
Help me out here. Coleman is wrong. I can say this about him because he's my kid.
Coleman is wrong.
What are we
You
going
can
to
say that
do
about-
with
you're
the
not-
things that we do not know, where we can tell that we're imperfect? What are we going to do?
Work on them.
Get better.
That's
We're
what I
going to
said.
grow. Yeah,
That's
but we're
what
not
I
going to achieve
said.
perfection. If we achieve perfection, we're done, and then we will be bored.
Yeah, that's true.
We're going to keep going.
You can make maps.
What?
You can make maps.
You could totally make maps. Maps is a perfectly legitimate thing to do. Today, I'm going to show you how to hold a pencil. I learned this. I have a degree, all the art class program. I almost have a bachelor's degree in art. I have all the studio classes for that. I have a studio master's degree training from Georgia Tech in industrial design. I've taken lots and lots of classes, and I was 40-something or other when I learned the right way to hold my pencil.
I know how to hold mine.
So we're going to learn how to hold a pencil, yes? All right, Abigail is showing us how to hold a pencil. This is a marvelous technique for holding a pencil if you are writing words. This is a correct and appropriate way. Eleanor has had this lesson before. Come here.
I've had
Eleanor,
the lesson before. I've
Show-
had the lesson twice.
sorry, Eleanor is holding the pencil
Alright, I think I
the way we want to do for sketching. Sketching is when we put light
Hold it like this.
light things on. So when you hold a pencil this way, when you write, let me back up and say, when you write, you want to use the point end of your pencil. Benjamin, are you listening? Because I know this applies to you. When you are using a pencil, you want to use the point end because you want to get lines, right? You want to be able to put words down. And I want hard lines, and they dig into the paper. To erase them can be hard because they've dug into the paper. If I'm sketching, I want to hold the pencil this way. Benjamin, can you show me how you hold the pencil?
No.
You want to hold the pencil this way, like Coleman's got it, such that I'm going to actually write from the, I'm going to use the edge of my point. It's going to keep my pencil sharper longer, which is kind of cool. And it's going to let me put graphite or lead down on the paper without digging holes into the paper. So it'll be much easier to erase. I can take that off completely.
Hold it.
So today's first exercise is to try to draw a technique. And I got this completely from the book. Start with a cyan colored pencil. One of the pencil that we have not been able to order or get into my house yet is our cyan colored pencils. So though you will all have one, we have to share a little bit. Use in the big packs of Prismacolors, there is a blue that is about this color. Use that. I have a few up here you guys can get.
Can I just use this one?
Or your next closest is you can use your jade blue. That's so beautiful, Ayla. All right, guys, I'm going to show the camera. Listen. First, you're going to sketch an approximation of a circle. The reason we're using a circle is because it's hard to do. I can't just draw one, but I can make an approximation. You see what I'm doing? I'm making an approximation. Do you see how I'm making this? Coleman? You see I'm making an approximation of a circle?
Yeah, should I get a new page?
You can do it small or big. Once you've made the approximation, then we have the very thin brown, and we can use this to trace. It's hard to do holding my pad.
Oh, that scared me. I thought that was thunder.
I've changed how I hold my grip, but I'm just tracing at this point.
Mommy!
I'm just kind of experimenting with color.
And I have a pretty good circle. The blue fades away, goes into my sky, fades away, won't see it. I can add shadow to this.
I think I can only get heads. Like this.
And make it show up.
Well, you hold it between your pinky.
Got that? Anybody who wants to come a little closer, we're gonna try to video it for our friends who are not here with us. But if you want to come closer and see, I might end up getting a bigger, note to self, bring bigger sketchbook. Note to self. Okay, so
I give my purple bubble a shadow.
that's awesome. We've drawn a circle. Can I have you move to one side because she's got the camera there? We've drawn a circle. We put a thin line around it to kind of define it. But I no longer want a flat circle. Now I want a sphere.
Already done that.
Coleman's already done it.
Yeah.
What has he done?
I drew a sphere.
All right, you drew a sphere. So my sphere is going to be green.
My sphere is brown.
What's this?
I make it purple.
A sphere,
Yeah.
right? So as I color my sphere in, I want the shadows to be where?
On the sides.
Usually on the side. I actually want the shadows to be where the shadows really are. So one of the things we're gonna do later days, we're gonna go look at where the shadows really are on things. It is possible to have the shadow on the front and light coming from the back, but we're gonna draw the easier way first, where the shadows are on the side. You can't see. Again, as I color this in, which side of my pencil am I using? The flat edge. Am I going like this?
No.
Or like this?
No.
Or like this?
No.
I'm actually tracing the shape of my shape. I'm using my strokes in the same direction as my shape. It is not the only way. You can cross-hatch. There are plenty of other legitimate ways of putting color in. I find it more foolproof for myself to generally trace my shape. I have to decide or notice where the light is going to be, because that's where the light is coming and hitting it. I want to know where my highlight is. I think since I'm making this one up, I'm going to say that my highlight is down here. Right? It's starting already to look like a green sphere, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but Do you notice that I've got it darker in the shadows and lighter in the center? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if I really want to give it shadows, there's a technique we learned from the book, which is to use, there's a couple different ways of doing it.
Use
But there's just,
black.
what color should I add? Black is an idea, but what happens when you put black on something?
You should use red.
Eleanor suggested using red because
It's the opposite color.
it's the opposite color. Red is actually a completely valid technique, and we're going to talk about that 2 weeks from now. So, but if you want just like, I just want something quick, the suggestion from the author is to use this black grape color, which you guys all have. It's a purple, and I'm going to add it in because almost anything. Does purple have any red in it?
No. Yes, yes.
Yes, it does. So it, yep. So it's gonna be, and I'm just putting it over my green. Brown. I'm putting it all around. I'm putting it where the shadows should be. Do you think there might be a shadow on the ground of this thing?
Yes.
So I can also, oh my goodness, now I'm drawing upside down. I can also put a cast shadow underneath. Guys, catch that? Does it look more
Yes. It looks more real.
real? And the longer I spent on this, the more I could do. If I wanted to add to my highlight, what might I do? Any suggestions?
Add a lighter color? Use an eraser?
You could totally use an eraser. Let's say I'd colored it in dark and I looked at it and said, uh-oh, I didn't put a shadow in there. I could totally pick the color up with an eraser. I could darken the rest of my drawing to bring out the highlight. Any other suggestions?
You could.
I do know. Coleman, I'm going to borrow a color from you.
Just not the color I'm using, okay?
Okay. I could pull out a yellow, assuming it's a yellow color, a yellow light, and I could start adding some brighter hues to it. I could use a white colored pencil, that might help in the highlight.
More white pen.
Or you've got this white pen. This white pen is really for small highlights. Can you guys see that happening? Oh, now that it's the sunlight has happened.
But now we can see the shadow on the ground.
But now you can see the shadows. Yes. Did you catch that? So I can add white, I can add yellow, I can add brighter hues, I can erase off. Thanks.